Hello, hello. Oh, we already got my pal and yours. Hey, Jess, lurking in the chat. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a solo live stream. This feels weird. I'm used to having Jess as my co-pilot. So today, well, I guess I should officially start it since it's the main channel. Oh, hello. Today we are doing a little live stream-aroo to celebrate the fact that I have been on BookTube for 8 years. Craziness. Um, yeah, that is about a quarter of my life. That feels kind of crazy. Also, sorry, I feel like the lighting's a little weird. It's raining and the overhead light is really harsh, but we'll all make do together. Yeah, so it's been 8 years, a quarter of my life. I have had a lot of life happen in those 8 years. I've moved, I've changed jobs a couple times. I lost my dad. Uh, I had an autoimmune disease diagnosis and emergency. I'm in treatment for that now. COVID. I mean, it's, we've done I guess I'm just trying to say we've done a lot of life together here on the channel. Hey Beth, and already I'm seeing people's names who I know. Thank you so much, Jess. Thanks, Lexi. Yes, this is nice to, I don't know, just see names I recognize. So yeah, I usually when it comes around to my Booktube-iversary, I will do a little something to reflect on the time. So I thought that I would do that, and I would do an AMA, and Ask Me Anything, so you guys will kind of control the chat. And we are going to be doing a fundraiser as a part of this. So I'm going to wait till I get past the 5-minute mark because sometimes that's better for the algorithm before I talk about which charity you guys picked as our fundraiser. But I will be donating all the proceeds from this stream to that charity. I will donate $100 or whatever the stream makes, whichever is more. Side note, it will not be $100, so probably $100. And then I have attached a fundraiser to this video. So we'll talk about what that is once I get past the 5-minute mark. But definitely would love for you guys to consider making whatever donation is workable for you right now to that organization, because it's the one most people said that they would be cool with any of the three that I suggested, but this was technically the one that had the most votes when I was looking last. So hello. 3 of those last years. Thank you, Lexi. Yeah, thank you so much, Evie. Hello, Amanda. Yoli, thank you so much. Andrew. Seajar, it's just, I don't know, it's fun. I'm so behind on comments. I really need to like block out an hour to go sit and respond. But I read all the comments because, I want to make sure things aren't getting wild. So parasocially, I recognize a lot of the names I'm seeing in the comments because I see your comments, and it's just, yeah, it's cool. It's crazy. I'm at a kind of interesting point of my YouTube journey because like I'm not really likely to grow much beyond where I'm at. I'm kind of roughly in the same kind of spot, which is a bummer because honestly, the gamified person within me would really love that 100,000 plaque, which is probably not going to happen unless something really changes. But thinking about, I forget what the number is. It's something around 40,000. There's 40,000 people are subscribed, and thousands of people watch the videos I make. That's like really humbling and kind of crazy when I think about it in terms of actual human people. And oh, the cat's can tell that the bad weather's coming. But that's really humbling to think about that many people interacting with me or ever having watched, or I don't know. Like, that's kind of amazing. And it's easy because it's so when you're on the back end of things, YouTube is designed to constantly make you feel like you need to be growing and like really trying to, I mean, for people who want to make this their full-time job, like I get it because they want those analytics to try to drive that growth. But for people, if it's like their part-time or just part-time job or just a side thing, um, it's very easy to get in your head about like, my channel's not doing as well as it's supposed to. It's not growing as much as it was at one point or whatever. But like, it's wild that this number of people give any kind of a crap about what I have to say about anything, much less books. And I'm really thankful for that. And it's very, yeah, just humbling to really conceptualize that. And whenever somebody finds out in my real life that I do YouTube and I tell them like, my numbers, they're always like, that's crazy. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. That is crazy. That's amazing. So, you know, I'm no Mr. Beast, but I'm really proud of, you know, the community that we've created insofar as one can do that online. And yeah, just still doing it after this long. Oh, we have our first question. Seajar says, how are the cats? They are scared at the moment. I've got at least one, if not both of them on my feet right now. But they're good. Marble is really coming out of her shell, guys. She she won't let herself sit in my lap, but she does this very cute thing where she sits on the arm of the chair, like right next to me, and then she puts her little paw on my thigh. So someday I know she's going to just go for it and crawl in my lap. And the other day when the cleaning crew was here, instead of going to hide under a piece of furniture, she hid by sitting on my feet under my desk. So I feel like she's coming out of her shell. Hastings is still a little stinker. He always will be. He's started doing this thing where he meows at 4:30 in the morning, trying to get me to wake up and play with him. But if I ignore him, he just goes away, as he should. So I just, you know, I don't encourage the behavior I don't want to see. And hopefully he will get out of this phase eventually. So, oh, here's Marple now. Hi, sweet girl. Okay, now I have both. I have both cats. You might be able to hear them meowing depending on how hard it starts to rain. I wanted that plaque, never going to happen. It's, you know, people who get that plaque, enjoy it because it's so cool. I just wish I don't know, just as like a memento of this being something I've done. Okay. M. Kim Real, congrats. It's insane because I think I found your channel during the pandemic. I learned about so many different things from you, and that was 5 years ago. I know. Isn't that crazy, guys? COVID happened 5 years ago. That's pretty wild. And thank you so much. Thank you, PJ, and Daniel, and Paul. I've been watching for 6 or 7 years now. I learned so much, and I love your recommendations. I always like the wide variety. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Beth. Yeah, Beth is a bit like an OG. She's been here a long time. Thank you, Gabby. Yeah, 8 years. It's crazy. How has open tabs been for y'all? Do you still enjoy doing it? Any future plans, topics you have in mind? I think I speak for Jess. She's in the chat, so she can correct me. We still really enjoy doing it. I think it's just, it has to be the right mix of like, we have a topic that we both are cool talking about. Scheduling has to work. Energy has to be right. Like it just, it's something that we truly do for fun. So I think we're trying to not make it something where we have pressure that we have to do it because, you know, it really is just something we enjoy doing. Like it's a good way, it's a good structure. Again, I'm speaking for Jess, so she can tell me she disagrees, but it's a good way for us to keep up with each other. Like it gives us some structure aside from us just casually, like, you know, texting things back and forth or TikToking. But yeah, I think we still really enjoy doing it. And I think for it to stay fun, I think we're in a good place of like when scheduling, energy, and topic align, that's when we do it. Um, so yes, Jess agrees. Life be lifing, but I love open tabs. She's back from her trip, so we'll be doing another one soon. I have a topic to tell Jess about. I was like, I didn't realize she was on her trip, so I sent her like, I really need to talk to you about this. Can we schedule it? And I found out she was on a trip of a lifetime. So I was like, never mind. We'll wait till you get back. And then a question from Jess. Do you have any idea how much longer you'll do YouTube's? It's a question I ask myself daily, LOL. I do think I used to be in a place where I couldn't imagine not doing YouTube. And I think I'm more in a place where I could imagine that this channel will. It's hard for me to imagine doing zero YouTube, maybe is the way to say it. I think that I am gradually moving to more of a when I want to post, I post kind of mindset. Like, honestly, what I would love, and there's like, I just don't see a world where this actually happens, because the thing is, if you post infrequently or you don't post on topic, like I've sprinkled in a couple of knitting videos, YouTube hates it. Not, I've gotten good feedback from y'all, but like the algorithm hates it because it's not what it's expecting from me. But it punishes you so much that like your videos don't get surfaced. So it's hard to like imagine practically how this would happen. But what I would love is just to be posting when I have something I'm really excited, like I would love to spend a long time on bigger videos. And I think I'm gradually making that transition, because that's what I enjoy. Like I like doing a project. Like I have several video essay things I would like to do, but they're going to take a long time to finish doing the research on. Like basically what I'm saying is I wish I was Jenny Nicholson or ContraPoints or whoever of like, or H Bomber Guy. Like I go away and produce like a couple of things a year that are like big, and then maybe sprinkle in some videos of like wrap-ups and recommendations and check-ins, like some things like that. So I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of contradictory, isn't it? That I still like the idea of posting, because I do enjoy doing like month-end wrap-ups. I really enjoy doing like you guys know I love end of the year videos, obsessed. So I don't know. I think maybe the answer is I see, and I think what I'm working towards on this channel is I have more project-based videos and more time-based videos in terms of end of the year, mid-year. And then I'm just sprinkling in some more like check-in type things in between. That's kind of where I think I'm processing that out loud. So it sounds like that's kind of where my head's at now that I've verbally talked that through. I'm a verbal processor, so that was a helpful question for me. Thank you, Jess, because it's good to have to actually say that out loud sometimes. So yeah, I still enjoy doing YouTube. I think doing the grind to like make the channel grow, which is like posting a lot more consistently and having a lot more niche down content, that I don't have the energy for anymore. I'm always so tired. Some of that I think is honestly just me. I'm 30. I'll be 38 next week. And when I started this channel, I was about to turn 30. So, some of that is just, I'm sure, part of the natural aging process. But also I have an active autoimmune disease now, and it saps all of the energy out of me. So, yeah, anyway, rambling. Before I take the next questions or keep reacting to the chat, I do want to share, now that we're almost at the 15-minute mark, I do want to share about where is it? Share screen and share. ¿Dónde está? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, so this is the charity that you guys picked. So I gave you 3 options. I said World Central Kitchen, Trevor Project, or Heal Palestine, and you guys picked Heal Palestine. Heal Palestine is a more recent charity. It's based here in the US, and it's focused a lot on, so it's less focused on the ground work, and it's more focused on well, it says, is dedicated to helping Palestinian children rebuild their lives through a grassroots holistic approach. So they do a lot of different things. Like they do a lot of aid in terms of um, like paying for children to come to the US who need like reconstructive surgery if they've lost their limbs, or um, they have like a summer camp that they're doing this year for a bunch of the kids that they've helped, so that they have other kids who are like them, and from the same country together, and like being able to just be kids and have fun amidst other challenges that they're having. So it's a new one. I believe that the founder, if I'm remembering rightly, yeah, their founder left the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, which is also a great charity. That was one that he founded as well. So this is kind of his next, his next endeavor, to focus more on kind of the aftermath, versus my understanding is PCRF is more kind of like on the ground. So anyway, that is the charity that we are supporting. Love that you guys picked this one. I will say because I'm not on Instagram as much, I'm trying to be fully off Instagram by the end of the year. We'll see if that can happen. But I don't post as much about Palestine because honestly, I feel like if you don't know what's going on, you've chosen to not know what's going on at this point. I mean, I think earlier on I was like, do people understand what is happening? And now I'm like, you either understand or you don't. I don't think I'm like sharing new information about what is happening. I mean, I keep up with it daily. There is always new horrible things. I'd say I cry about Palestine every day. There's just an expose in an Israeli newspaper where they have a bunch of IOF soldiers admitting that they're purposely targeting people who are seeking aid. It's all extremely depressing, and yeah, it's a really grim thing. But when I have my hat on of trying to focus on stuff that we can help, one thing we can do is help kids who tragically enough and like shockingly enough are the victims of this entire what is the new internet speak, genius side. So I'm glad you guys picked it. If we do another one of these live streams, I'll put up a new set of charities to support. I was trying to find a way to attach a chair, like to give you guys the option of a couple of there's the Tennessee Immigrant Refugee Center, but I don't think that I couldn't figure out how to make a fundraiser for them or for the Nashville Public Library, because that's another big one I support. But anyway, that'll be a future live stream. So just a reminder, that's what this one is for. If you have anything to spare, I've attached a fundraiser to this, so definitely please contribute to that if you're able. So let me get back to it. Amanda, this was in reference to the open tabs convo. So yes, we do enjoy doing it. It's just, yeah, it's spontaneous. Thank you, Jana Rose. Do you watch more BookTube or BookTok, or do you watch other stuff on those platforms? That's a good question. I would say that I let the algorithm direct me to new people at this point. So I would say new BookTube or BookTok stuff is mostly coming from my FYP / like shorts algorithm. So I'll find some new people through that. But other than that, I'm mostly a watcher of the BookTube that I've been watching. Incrementally, like you'll find someone new who you get really into. But I watch, let's see, I'm behind on Jess's videos, but obviously I watch Jess's videos. I watch Meg for Meg with Books and Ashley's Little Library for my mystery stuff. I watch My Name is Mad Inez. Like, I feel like I watch a lot of the OGs, honestly. I've not like found a lot of new people I'm really connected with. I love Leanna's videos when she does like book project videos. Those are some of my favorites because she inevitably hates something and I find that extremely entertaining. Not that I wish her bad books, but it isn't. She talks about books she does not enjoy in a very entertaining way for me. So yeah, anyway, OGs, I watch a lot of those. What one or two books do you wish everyone would read? Oh my God. That is that I wish everyone would read. I mean, probably some nonfiction stuff. I would say, oh man, that is really tough. I'm like looking around at my books, trying to think of books I wish everyone would read. If we're talking about a nonfiction pick, and I'll be selfish and say that we'll keep it to a perspective of US history, I would say a book everyone should read. Ooh. Okay, I'll say The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein, because I think that it's a really it's not the best written book, nonfiction book I've ever read. It's kind of, and you know, it's in this, to me, it's sort of similar to something like Evicted, by Matthew, I can't remember his last name, where it's like the writing itself is not that great, but the content is so important. And I think The Color of Law is a great example of a history book where it's like such a good marriage of like the history and the context, and then like documenting sociologically what the impact was. I don't know. Is that really my answer? Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick one nonfiction book. But that's the one that's like coming to mind right now, is like, I think it has good, interesting history that also like calls you, like it applies to your life right now. For fiction, I'll just be selfish and say I want everyone to read an Agatha Christie. And if I had to pick one Agatha Christie I think everyone should read, I'm going to say Death on the Nile, actually, because I think some people don't like Murder on the Orient Express because of how interview heavy it is. Some people don't like And Then There Were None because it's so existential. So I think Death on the Nile, I think of the people I've had read it, I cannot think of somebody who didn't really enjoy it. So Lexi asks, I know you've talked about knitting and sewing on the channel now. Are there other topics or hobbies you'd like to add into the channel? If YouTube, well, yeah, as Jess is saying right there, if algorithms make you niche down. If it didn't make me niche down, things I would cover, I would love to talk about dropout stuff. Like, I've thought about, it's just like, I know the algorithm will hate it. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to wait a while because I just dropped a video that it hated. But I would love to do like my favorite episodes of Dropout video, of D20, that is, Dimension 20. I would love to do, like, I'm going to do some video essays that are not directly book related, but are like history related. If I ever finish the research on those. Yeah, I mean, there's other things that I'm interested in that I would love to make videos about. And I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Like, I do talk about, like, on my writing stuff, I do as my Patreon stuff because it keeps me accountable. So that's kind of the outlet for that. But yeah, I think the thing that comes to mind is I'd like to talk about some like history and some like commentary on other things I'm watching. But yeah. Thank you so much, Shauna. I'm wondering how your love for Agatha Christie started. I, on my way back from studying abroad in England when I was in university, I picked up The Hollow and Halloween Party in the airport in Heathrow, because those were just like the descriptions that sounded interesting to me. And I read those on the way back. And then I just had to read as many of them as I could before I started my grown-up job. And then I couldn't binge them in the same way until I made time to do it when I started this channel. So thank you, Jennifer. I found you through my love of all things Agatha Christie. You make some of the best content. Thank you so much, little chicks. Jess agrees. She's had a video essay she's had in the works for months, but it's so time consuming. I wish I could focus on in-depth videos. Yes. Yes. The algorithm gods. We are just their puppets. We must dance to their rhythm. I just realized I should order lunch. Spent all morning in bed so I would have energy for you guys, but that means I do not have energy to stand and make lunch. So I should go ahead and order that so that it is here when I'm ready. Happy early birthday. Thank you so much. Yes, we love the charity. Yeah. Finally subscribed. Yay. Thank you. Finally subscribed. It's just fun to see names I know. I also want to get rid of Instagram, but I feel the need to get views on the non-Western media journalists, especially in Palestine. Yeah. Yeah, that there is definitely some good stuff on there. It's hard because I'm also trying to not have as much TikTok time, but that's the other place I can get a lot of that content. It's like, it's hard. I don't know. Finding the right balance of engagement with the internet versus your actual life is like really hard, especially when there's topics you're interested in and then you're trying to follow. It's tough. It is tough. Okay, let's see what the daily special is. Yeah. There's a sandwich shop nearby that I love, and they have different sandwiches on rotation, and I will order from them if they have one of the ones that I really like. And today they have the Pacino, which is like a pesto-y chicken and arugula kind of situation. They also have a delicious banh mi. Hello! Congratulations on Booktube-iversary. I feel like Roy is always the like first commenter. I feel like they get to the punch quickly. So happy your channel exists. Also, I cannot thank you enough for the Agatha Christie content. Thank you so much. How is the writing going? It's going really good. So I'm almost done with my current draft. And then I am in the middle of doing research for like 3 other things that I want to write. I'm actually like in a really, I have not felt this way since before grad school. I'm feeling really creatively charged right now. And honestly, probably some of that is because I'm not making as much booktube. So I don't have that as an outlet for creativity, and it's just getting funneled more into writing, but it's actually going really good right now. And I'm feeling really motivated and jazzed about it. So that feels lovely. Love the video essays. I love the one on the aesthetic, about the one about how everything is a scam. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed making both of those. Yeah. I enjoyed making those. Yes to the Color of Law and Evicted by Matthew Desmond. Thank you for reminding me of who that author is. I love a good video essay or vlogging project that leads you to whatever conclusion about your own reading and biases. Yeah. I was hoping they have sometimes they stock these really delicious cookies, which I feel like on a rainy day, it's a good day for a nice hot cookie, but apparently other people have thought that as well, and they're gone. Okay. Yeah, I really enjoy, those longer term projects are just nice because they they feel creatively challenging and they feel intellectually challenging doing the research and like thinking through and having to like articulate a position. So I've been loving nonfiction on audio this year. I've been learning so much. Yes. Would you consider starting another channel for your other interest? I've thought about it, but like the idea of getting that channel up and going just would be so much work. And I think it would be really hard for me to not have comparison issues of that to the main channel. And I think it would make me feel like I wasn't doing a good job because it wouldn't have as many subscribers, etc. So I think that would be creating a scenario where I routinely feel like I'm underperforming, and that doesn't seem fun for a hobby, you know? Thank you for introducing me to the Side Changeling series. I wish you would wrap up the neural network breakdown. So I have read the next one. I do think we get some major developments on that, so that's good. I do think she would probably benefit from wrapping up the current timeline and conflicts and maybe jumping ahead in time for new characters and new conflicts. That's kind of my diagnosis for that series, because I just think it's getting, there's so many characters and it's getting tough to like be invested in all of them, I think. Congrats on the milestone, Martin, for dedicating this occasion to raising money for such a great cause. Thank you, Alicia. If algorithm is God, then I'm an atheist. It's working out great for me. There you go. Jackfish Books. Happy Booktube-iversary. Love to watch your channel. Thank you, Jack. It's so hard trying to get away from social media. I've cut out IG, but cutting out Facebook has been tough for me. There's so many animal rescues I support, and the one I'm involved with is on Facebook. Totally, I understand that. I know I'm really missing out on, apparently there's this fantastic Facebook group for my neighborhood that lots of stuff happens on, and I miss all of it because I'm not on there. And also, whenever I want to sell something and I'm not on Facebook, I can't use Facebook Marketplace. So it's definitely trade-offs. I'm always first to the punch. I like letting my YouTube peeps know they mean to me. Thank you. Mars, send me your writing energy, please. My fan fiction whip needs it. That was me sending you writing energy. You're very insightful. Would love to hear more of your video essays on the world. Thank you so much, John. That's so kind. And Jana. Also really struggling with the social media thing. I think it's crazy how it's conditioned us to have this constant state of FOMO. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think that there is a way of talking about social media that I think does ignore some of the things that I think are great about it. Like the fact that I'm talking to you guys from my, let me speak as a person with a disability. I think social media is really wonderful to help me keep connected to people who I sometimes don't have the energy to actually physically go see. It gives me insight into experiences I'll never be able to have. I think that's true just in general, for even people without a disability, but particularly like, I don't know. I think social media does, or even just the fact that like the reason I think a lot of people didn't understand how bad things were in Palestine was because there wasn't on the ground people like showing the reality of what's going on. That's been a huge part of the last decade of the Palestinian story is like, hey, instead of having to go through mainstream media and like Western media sources that like have a very specific editorial directive, we can just show you what's happening. Like I can just turn my phone around and show you. So I think that this idea that social media is just like a bad thing is, I think, a little myopic and Luddite-ish. But I do think the idea that unfettered social media and just like constantly being on social media is fine is also probably not a great thing, because it's just so like that what it does to our brain, I think we're only starting to understand. So I think figuring out how to be good custodians of a very powerful tool that we don't fully understand is a journey that we're still on. And unfortunately, I think a lot of collateral damage is happening in the meantime. Honestly, maybe kind of an overstated analogy, but maybe similar to like when nuclear energy was first synthesized. Like, they made some big choices with that early on that were devastating and really detrimental to the health well-being of people and the planet itself at that time. And now we're all having to live with the consequences of that, and also like try to walk some of that back, and also try to figure out how to use a really I say awesome in the sense of like inspiring awe power. Like, are there ways to use that are you know, aligned with human flourishing and etc. So all that to say, that was just a long musing on like, I think social media is a really powerful thing, and that we're wielding it without fully understanding its power, and that there's gonna be good stuff from that, and then also some really, really bad stuff from that. Sarah, hello. Are you still working on your Reading Roberts project? I've been a fan of Roberts for a long time, and I've been loving your reviews of her works in the 80s and 90s. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, when I started that, I knew it was going to be a multi-year endeavor, and I think that's still true. Like, I've not been as in the mood for her older stuff recently, but you're reminding me probably what I need to do is just grab some of my ones I have of hers that are older and just like stick them in my like read this soon TBR pile that I'm looking at that's in my living room, so that I just kind of get it in the mix. But it's not been calling out to me as much recently, so I've not been reading it as much. But yeah, it is still my intention to get through all of them. I probably, I know I'm past the halfway mark. So maybe I should do some kind of check-in video. You're reminding me. That's probably a good idea, because it's been a minute. Jess has received the energy. Leslie also agrees on the Reading Roberts. What type of content would you like to see on BookTube? I think that's a question for you guys. I mean, I really enjoy projects. That's what I like to watch the most. Or like discussion. I mean, part of why Jess, the asker of this is such a great channel is because she's responding a lot to like current discussion. So I enjoyed those. And I love projects. And then I think there's always space for people who are just really good at doing good book reviews that are helpful. Like, I think I saw her pop in. Yes. Ashley's Little Library. I mentioned her earlier. I think she's one of the best reviewers for mystery. Like, she's a very fair reviewer. She's much nicer than I am in some cases, but she, she'll be very fair and have a clear articulation of what a mystery is like. And she still may review it, like give it not that many stars, but I think kind of if you'll like it or not. So I think there's always room for that. What else do I like to see on BookTube? I mean, I always love lives. I'm a hypocrite because I do so few of them these days, but I lurk in a lot of lives, especially live. I think if there's going to be book club, I think doing that live is a fun thing. Though I guess I do that on Blades and Boz Ripper. We do that quarterly. So I enjoy those. And I do love our reading wrap up. I know they're basic bitch video format, but they're just fun to watch. I like them at least. I think social media has done just as much bad for the world, which sucks. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Ashley. Honestly, one of the most profound things of social media is that we can interact directly with people in Palestine. Have donated so much to personal funds. Totally. Yeah. Freya, happy birthday. Happy Booktube-iversary, Mara. I really enjoy your views and more knitting content, please. Hey, I'm going to space it out so YouTube doesn't hate it, but I definitely will minimally still do like a everything I knit this year video. So when Meta stopped fact checking, I deleted my Facebook and Instagram account. It's been hard, but my anxiety is down substantially. Yeah, I will say once I limited, like I put on my phone, I put limitations on how much time I can spend on different apps. And I think that has been really helpful to keep me from doom scrolling. It's also part of why I got so into knitting, because if your hands are busy, you can't, it's harder to sit there and scroll. So, do you, Violet December, hello, Violet. Do you still like astrology? Do you still feel like your signs accurately characterize you? I definitely still like astrology. I feel, yeah, I actually do, because, well, I am a Virgo moon, which is what I most identify with. But I'm a Cancer sun and a Sagittarius rising, and I think the interplay of what each of those are very well describes me, and actually describes some of the contradictions in my personality, which I think is really cool. So I'm so happy you mentioned about the role of social media. I'm sick and tired of this. It's a hellscape filled with vapid women. It's actually my window to the world, and I know how to use it. Ooh, well, yeah, I will say everybody has the algorithm they deserve. And I'll just leave it there. Do you ever write blurbs for books in the publishing pipeline? No, I don't. I try to yeah, I try to just be a reviewer. I guess at some point if I try to publish, then at that point I'll have to figure out, let's just cross that bridge when we get there. That seems like it's going to be complicated. Anyway, if that happens, we'll figure that out at that time. But no, I don't do that. I also get a lot of requests for people to pay me to review books, and I'm just not comfortable doing that. Because I don't think I could be objective because I'm too much of a people pleaser. Like, I would feel bad not giving a good review. Honestly, it's hard to even give bad reviews on ARCs, and that is not monetary. So it was so fun to watch you discover Louise Erdrich this year. Do you have any other authors you want to try that you think you will feel a similar affinity to? Yeah, so the number one that comes to mind is Isabella Allende. I think that she's a good candidate for me to have that kind of journey with. I have a whole list somewhere. I need to figure, I think I put it was on a post-it, but I thought that I put it as a note on my phone. But I have either a post-it or a phone note with the different authors that I'm considering for that try a new author endeavor. I only want to pick authors that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to like, because I'm committing to reading 3 books from them. So, but yeah, the Louise Erdrich, that journey was a beautiful thing. I also miss the lives of 2020 and 2021. Yes, I've made a point to crochet to keep my hands busy. Definitely has brought down my doom scrolling. Yeah, if you can pick up some kind of craft that uses your hands and not your phone, whittling, possibly scrapbooking, maybe paper folding or woodworking. It's a good way to keep you from doom scrolling. Jess, are you going to read Problematic Summer Romance? Did you see the weirdos that were harassing Allie Hazelwood because of the clip saying PETA was useless? I did see that. That was really strange to me. I am tempted to launch into like an entire diatribe about like performance. I'm not going to go there. Okay. But yes, I thought that it was very bizarre. Very bizarre. I'll leave that there. I'm not gonna read problematic summer romance because it's just not my trope set. It's the same reason I didn't read Deep End, not my trope set. I don't really like a new adulty college age romance. Every time I try to read one, I don't enjoy it, so that's why I didn't read Deep End. And problematic summer romance is not a trope I enjoy, so I'm not gonna read that particular one, but I sure as hell will read Mate because I think that sounds like it's gonna be fun. Yeah. Hey vey. Suze and her books. Happy Booktube-iversary. Thank you. I've watched videos for many years now. Is there anything you miss from past reading years that you don't read or do now? That's interesting. You know, that's a really interesting question. This is forcing me to reflect a little bit. So, when I got out of grad school, my brain needed a break. I had a profound deconstruction process that was wrapping up. So my head hurt from thinking a lot about a lot of really esoteric things. And I had just finished doing my thesis about romance novels. So I was in the thick of just love it, like reading so much romance and loving it. And I think because my brain has bounced back a little bit, I'm enjoying and like I'm drawn right now more towards nonfiction than I have been in years. And actually reading it with my eyeballs rather than audio, because that was the only way I could do that for a while. And the sad trade-off is I find myself not as into sort of like lighter, happier books recently. And I think I need to find ways to be more like, so I've been rereading romance that I enjoyed in the past, but I've not been reading as much new romance. And I think that that's probably, I mean, it's probably just an ebb and flow, but I do miss it in terms of it is nice sometimes just to like have something that you know the ending is going to be happy in these times. I think that actually is a really like healthy part of my overall media consumption. So I probably need to make some time to like, even if I'm not technically in the mood for a new romance, when I get when I'm reaching for something I've already read and I'm rereading, just go ahead and read something new, you know? Like I have a few, I'm like really behind on the Ruby Dixon new releases. I can't believe I'm saying that. So yeah, I think that's the main change that I'm observing. That's an interesting question. Yeah, you choose the algorithm you deserve. I went to a bookstore and saw a new Isabel Allende novel, and the casting was certain adaptation of The House of Spirits. Yikes. I don't know about that. Coloring might be another good option to keep hands busy. Totally, I agree. Are there any genres or subgenres you want to read and explore more? I feel like, I mean, I guess the answer probably the right answer is science fiction. I think I read a lot of speculative things, but like true sci-fi stuff, I don't think I've ever really found my way into loving that. Um yeah, I think that Lois McMaster Bujold might be a way into that for me. And then I've also, because she's got a few sci-fi series I'm interested in, and then I forget the other person's name somebody recommended to me somewhere I might want to read. But I think that's probably the answer is I do read a lot of speculative fiction, but in terms of like true blue sci-fi, not as much. And I feel like I don't know my taste there. Like finding things that work for me consistently is tough. So I don't know if you're open to trying visual novels. Yes, I am. But if you are, I'd recommend Misericord. It's kind of a murder mystery with lesbian nuns during the War of the Roses. Phew. Well, say no more. Say no more. Say no more. Isn't that a Monty Python thing? Did I just accidentally channel Michael Palin? Um, oh no, that was Eric Idle. That's the like wink, wink, nudge, nudge guy. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will, is it en français? The only things I'm seeing are en français. Okay. Well, I'll find that because that sounds rad as hell. Speaking of lesbian murder mysteries, there was a one shot on Dropout yesterday in their Parlor Room series that was using a role playing game called Thirsty Lesbian Swords, and that was extremely entertaining. Um, so, lesbians solving murder mysteries with magic is on the brain. Yeah, puzzling. Oh, yeah, that's another good hobby. The fact that Allie Hazel was bullied off the internet because weirdos can't fathom people having different opinions is so wild and concerning. Like, what the F is happening in this community? I mean, it's giving very Tumblr. So it's not that surprising, but still. Nonfiction is definitely quite alluring. There's something about it. Maybe it's just easier to absorb fun facts and figures. I know you mentioned medieval nonfiction, which is an interest of mine too. Do you have any recommendations? I loved Going to Church in Medieval England by Nicholas Orme, though it's very textbooky. Well, that's another recommendation for me. Right now I'm enjoying, so I tried reading Eleanor Yanaga's The Once and Future Sex on audio a couple of years ago and did not click with it on audio. But I've been reading it in physical form and have been very much enjoying that. I feel like that's a very basic answer, so I apologize for not having something more interesting. Well, actually, you know what? Just a second. I'll show you. Well, no, because the cat's on my feet. I don't want to get up. But I have a few that I have gotten recently. So I got one called The Crowd, which is about like how medieval people viewed like group dynamics, basically, which I think is a really interesting topic because by the Renaissance / into the Enlightenment, we definitely have kind of the rise of the individual. So I think that it's an interesting topic. And then I have a bunch of things. Oh God, I can't totally read the titles from here, but I see them. They're over on that shelf. I have a few things about, I've been really interested in the interim period between, like, the Anglo-Saxon period, basically. So like the interim period between Rome leaving Britain and like the rise of the king, the centralized king. So that's been kind of what I've been focused on. Hi, do you speak French and read books in French? So in theory, yes, but I minored in French in university, and I had a point. So in high school, my senior year of high school, I was taking 2 French courses. I was taking French 3 and French 4 at the same time, and I was taking them back to back. So I was getting 2 hours a day of uninterrupted time speaking French. So I think there was a moment in that year where I was close to fluent because I was thinking in French, but I never get to use it. So I would say that I'm pretty okay at reading it still, but speaking or writing, I would definitely struggle. I can understand pretty well. I can usually at least follow the flow of the conversation. But like generating it back, I've completely lost, which is a real shame. I'm sad that I did not find a way to maintain that. I love reading wrap-ups Two, and agreed, Ashley's book reviews are great. They definitely are. Do you have any advice for new booktubers? I don't know that my advice would be very good because I feel like BookTube has just changed so much. It's gotten so much bigger. I think one interesting trend in the history of BookTube that, or like the moment of BookTube that we're in, is that it was a very specific niche community for a long time, and I think post-pandemic, a lot of lifestyle people started making book content. So, like, people from StudyTube or Study Talk, and then, uh, get ready with me's, or, like, lifestyle girlies, they started making a lot of book content, and those are kind of the big book content creators now. It's interesting because, like, when I think of big booktubers, like people who I think of as booktubers, they actually get a fraction of the view that these kind of people who migrated from a different genre, like, they don't get nearly as many views as those people. So it's interesting. I just think that it's changed a lot. I think the rise of book talk has created a ton of new bookish online content creators. So in terms of how you would get your stuff surfaced and seen, and if you were starting from 0 right now, like, I honestly don't know what the best advice to do that is. Um, the advice I gave, I have a video called BookTube 101, which I do still get comments on of people saying it's helpful, so I guess it's not totally irrelevant. But I think the one of the big pieces of advice I gave there was, like, figure out who all is starting at the same time you are, and, like, that should be your friend group. That should be your cohort to start off with, because you guys will build connections and enjoy, like, have fun together. And then also, it gives you opportunities to, like, collaborate with them and cross promote and all of that. Um, but I mean, that would still be my advice if you're looking, if you're I think if you're getting into online bookish content because you want to connect with other readers, I think that's still probably good advice. In terms of advice to, like, build your channel, I have no idea at this point. Yeah, I have no idea who that would be. Or not who that would be, or, like, what that would be of, like, um yeah, I don't know what I would do today. It's interesting. It really has changed a lot. I mean, TikTok has changed everything in terms of social media, in terms of how the algorithms on different platforms work, because all of them are constantly chasing, um, being algorithm, or, like, all of them are chasing TikTok's algorithmic success. Like, they but TikTok is not what it was, like, the algorithm has definitely not gotten as good in recent years. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. Social media, it comes and it goes. Oh, and it's hard for any one piece of advice to stay relevant for really any length of time, because things just change so quickly. Favorite Latin American authors? I honestly have not had great success with Latin American authors. Um, like, American Hispanic authors, yes, but, like, for example, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, I never connected with him. So, like, some of the go-tos, I just have never really connected with. So I think sadly TBD, still looking for. Isabel Allende hopefully will be one, but yeah, I can't, maybe I'm missing someone in my head that I know that I like, but not off the top of my head, sadly. Have you noticed that you like a book more the slower you will read, the more you like a book, the slower you will read it, like literally line by line instead of rushing? And last question, are you also a writer? Yes, I'm also a writer, though not published, just for fun at this point. Um, I would say not always. Like sometimes, it depends on the genre. If it's a book where the writing is really beautiful, or like in nonfiction, I think that's definitely true. Like I tend to read that slower if I'm really absorbing it. But for um, a lot of genre fiction, if I'm enjoying it, I'm like can't wait to keep going. So it really just depends. Have you ever wanted to redo Project Poirot? Do you think your opinions have changed on some of them over the years? I think about this all the time of like, should I start over again and do another reread on Agatha Christie? I just think it's hard for me to envision doing that right now because my reading is so much slower than it was when I was doing that. And it's so many books. So the answer is yes. Um I do think about doing that. And I don't know logistically what would have to happen in my life for that to actually come to pass. Um, the other thing is I worry about reading them too many times because then I feel like it starts to lose some of so, but that being said, it's been a while since I've read any Christie. I think the last thing I read was I did a really close reading of And Then There Were None before I started on the book I was writing. Yeah, so maybe it is time to read some Christie again. Yeah, it could be. We'll see how that happens in life. Have you seen or heard about the 100 Years of Solitude adaptation on Netflix? No. I don't really keep up with adaptations unless they're, Kenneth Branagh butchering Christie. Then I'm more into them. But no, I really the only Dropout makes the only fictional content that I can consistently watch via Dimension 20, and it's because there's a meta context to it where they're breaking the fourth wall. I really struggle to watch, scripted drama, comedy, anything at this point. Yeah, I don't totally know why that is, but I get that itch scratched through books rather than visual media. Oh, well, we're coming up on an hour. Um, oh, and my lunch is gonna be here in about 5 minutes, so perfect timing. Um, saw that Marple adaptation is just so cute, great ambient viewing. I should give those another try. Favorite sci-fi, do you like Jules Verne? I mean, it depends on how narrowly you construe sci-fi. I would say the thing that comes to mind for me as a favorite sci-fi is the Murderbot series by Martha Wells. That's like legit sci-fi. But let's see here. Which ones have I kept in recent years? I mean, I really enjoyed Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents by Octavia Butler. That's like dystopian sci-fi. Oh, Murder by Memory. This is a new series that I'm really into. That's like a mystery. You know what I really love is a sci-fi mystery. That honestly, if we, you know what, yeah, that's my what I like in sci-fi so far. I can tell you definitively I enjoy a sci-fi mystery. Thank you, chat, for helping me solidify that is probably my favorite kind of sci-fi. Because I just find it really satisfying. and I enjoy the new, like, technology people make up to kill people in sci-fi mysteries. I'm looking to see if there's any others that like jump out to me, but I of the stuff that I've kept. I mean, I also like sci-fi horror, I would say. So maybe I just don't true sci-fi, it's harder for me to find things I love, but I like sci-fi as a mix-in because I love sci-fi romance. So, yeah. Convert, yes. The good news of the Church of Murderbot. Okay, but you guys, I have a shameful confession. Let us all enter the confessional of the Church of Murderbot. Bless me, mother, for I have sinned. Um, I don't think I'm reading anymore in the series. At least for now. I've gotten what I want from the series, and the entries are always fine or like good, but they're just not giving what I want them to give. So I think I'm done for the moment. Please let me know what my penance should be. Oh, Meg, hey, thank you so much. Oh, we'll be clicking your videos as soon as they arrive in my sub box. We're both still doing this in another 8 years. Yeah, isn't that crazy to think about? That was, Jess's point earlier, um, of like, how long do you see yourself doing this? It's like, do I really see myself in another 8 years doing this? Like, that seems like a wild thing to say. But I don't see myself not doing that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I did not like the other Andy Weir I tried, so I did not read that. Anyone else disappointed in Apple TV's Murderbot adaptations? My friend Amanda, the Naughty Librarian, has been doing reviews, but I have not been watching it. Congrats on 8 years. You're my go-to advice on books. Wanted to ask how you feel the JD Robb in-depth series is coming along. P.S. So glad you discovered the Thursday Murder Club. Yes, that's all thanks to Meg, right? I think that the in-depth series is surprisingly still very fun to read book to book. I would say the macro plot is not as strong at this point. Peabody and Mavis have been moving into that friggin' house for like 10 books, which I think maybe they're actually going to be in there in the next one. Though I have a copy of the next one, so I'll report back if they actually move in. But I think the macro plot's not doing as good, but I think book to book is it still a very enjoyable comfort read for me, totally. And that's another series I think about doing a full reread of. Maybe I should wait till it's over because, like, I don't want to manifest this onto Lenora, but surely the in-depth series isn't going to continue indefinitely, right? Like, we got to be coming up probably nearish the end. So maybe once it's actually over, I'll do like a full reread, and then I can consider the full macro arc once it's done. I really hope she has an end game planned. It will be disappointing if she doesn't. Like, I'm hoping somewhere she has banked the final book just in case. Oh, Mona agrees on the macro plot. Yeah. Day of the Locust. I read it as a detour when I got to the Hollywood era Ellery Queens. Nathaniel West died way too young. I've always heard of that book, but good to hear another endorsement of it. First question, is it just me or is book reading hype for diverse books seems super slow and kind of dulled down compared to past years, especially before 2020? I do think that I assume, at least in the US, is no, I think this is an international trend that we have a lot of like nationalist movements on the rise, and so one would assume that that is not unrelated to maybe people being less vocal. I would say I don't feel the need to talk about it as much because I feel like I mean, not that we're ever done, but like I consistently am reading about 50% of books I read are by or about people who are not like me. So it's like I feel like my TBR is pretty well greased, so I don't have to think about it as much, I guess, because it's just there. But yeah, that's an interesting observation. I did see that there's going to be an adaptation of Thursday Murder Club, so I'm excited. Yeah, me and Meg were actually texting about the casting for that and some of the interesting choices. Um, yeah, yep. Oh, it's Netflix. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to get Netflix temporarily to be able to get that. Yeah. Well, everyone, once again, I encourage you to donate to the fundraiser attached to this one for Heal Palestine. I will be donating all the proceeds from this video slash more likely $100 because I'm be shocked if this makes it. I have not seen the trailer. Okay, I'll watch it, Meg, and I'll text you what I think about it. Um, yeah, I'm assuming that it's gonna be pretty widely available, but I know now that I know that there's a trailer, I gotta sure. Did they did cast Helen Mirren, right? I didn't just make that up. I'm queuing this up. Yes. Okay, good. Oh yeah, Pierce brought we talked about some of these are strange choices. Um and I'm gonna say that the Bogdan, at least the picture I'm seeing, Bogdan is not hot enough. Um, but really, what mortal man could be? Uh, what's the next reading project we can look forward to on the channel? The only thing that I know that I want to do this year is a banned books library project. But I got to figure out when that's going to happen because I'm currently on a researching Roger hole, rabbit hole. um, so at some point that will happen, but not sure when. Cecilia Imria's perfection. I didn't know who that was, but now that I see the picture, yes. Uh, yeah, Pierce Brosnan was a weird choice to me. I was imagining someone much more lived in. Should we say? Okay, I love how Bogdan has gotten progressively maker gigantic with every book. I swear he was normal in the Murder Club. That's true. That is true. He's gotten very gigantic. Don't you feel the rise of conservative values in book talk and social media? It's June and the silence around pride is very shocking. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. And I do think the whole, like, I've seen a lot of people commenting on that, on this. There's a lot of anti-intellectualism, I feel like, happening in bookish spaces, which is very bizarre to me. Because if you're curious enough about the world around you to want to read a book, it's very strange to me, like, then being so anti-intellectual. Um, it's a weird, I mean, yeah, we have a rise of, like, conservative, dare I say, fascist values worldwide, so I guess it's not surprising that that would be reflected in online communities, but it's, like, pretty disheartening, pretty shocking. Yeah, I still get angry comments of people telling me they're not watching me anymore for things that I'm just shocked people haven't realized about me, or, like, I don't know, sometimes they must be new watchers, but sometimes I'm like, "I've seen you around. Did you not realize that, like, this is" I don't know. Anyway, people are strange. It's a strange time, which is part of why we've gotta, collective action, folks. That's really all we can do at this point. Um, yeah. Have you ever heard of Kane? Oh, I'm sure I've not said that correctly. McDonald. He has done a series called the Dublin series, and it's really funny but interesting police procedural. The Dublin series, that rings a bell, but I haven't read it. I'll have to look that one up. I don't know if I could start a new police procedural, to be honest. that might be a little tough for me at this point. I mean, I struggle with it even in the in-depth books. I'm like, this is propaganda. But it's in the future, so that like kind of helps me get around that a little bit. So yeah, yeah, it's disheartening. Mr. Beast ruining AI thumbnails for accessibility. He had to cancel the project because of the backlash. I've seen I've seen thumbnails about that, but I wasn't totally um following what the scandal was. I don't watch or fuck with Mr. Beast because of a number of other reasons, but it doesn't surprise me to hear that him being an AI shill is another reason to add to that. So, yeah. Oh man. Okay. I Jeez, we're getting a classic Tennessee summer thunderstorm here. But I see that the rain has stopped, and I think that they just delivered my food, so I should go pick that up. But I really appreciate you guys joining. Um, oh, a Swell Entertainment video. I will check that out. I enjoy her content. Um, I really appreciate you guys. It's a ride, man. It's been 8 years. I'll say this, barring some major life changes, you will see me here to get to the 10-year mark. That I feel like I can say pretty confidently. Um, so, I'll see you next year for the 9-year anniversary, and then we'll get to the 10-year anniversary, and at that point, we may have to reevaluate because God, then I truly would have been on YouTube for a quarter of my life, and I don't know. We'll see how I feel about that at the time. But definitely, please, on your way out, if you can, donate to Heal Palestine. Um, and thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for all the congratulations. 4 more years. Uh, thank you so much. That's very kind. Um, yeah. And then in terms of my next film video, I should be putting up a wrap up for May and June because I've been reading. I have been reading. So I have some things to say. Um, I haven't read enough gay shit though this month. You know what? Before Pride Month is over, I do need to. I need to find. I did read one gay romance. I need to find another gay book before the end of the month, just because why not? Now, tis the season, you know. Um, Thank you so much. Thank you, Mel. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of the world. And I'll catch you on the flippity flop.